It's not just radio, it's Rockland World Radio. RocklandWorldRadio.com.
Jake talks and the world's listening. Who's Jake?
I'm Jake.
And I'm Jake.
We're Jake. And Jake's talking to teens about everything in our world.
Hooking up.
Getting down.
Rocking the vote.
Rocking the boat.
Jake lives at the JCC in Rockland County, New York, and Jake is talking now on the web. And every Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, join us live or catch up with Jake by logging onto his archives at rockandworldradio.com/Jake Talks. Listen up, Jake Talks.
Hello and welcome to Jake Talks. See teens saying what you're thinking. Jake Talks is brought to you by the JCC Mitzvah Makers. We're making a difference in Rockland County and around the world. Kathy Eisen is our producer.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to introduce our team producers, Meredith and Michael, and on soundboards is Alex, who will also be assisting as our executive producer. How's that, Alex?
That sounds awesome.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Meredith, what's our lineup today?
Today's show will begin with a look into the pressures of relationships with boyfriends and girlfriends. Are there things that you wish they wouldn't do? I know I do. And after that, we're going to talk about breaking up. Breaking up with a boyfriend or girlfriend is hard enough, but imagine being pushed off a cliff. Not fun.
No, I don't think so.
And then I'll talk about our teens in a pickle, and then we'll talk about Teens Have Heart. We'll share the latest ways you can volunteer to make a difference in our community. And then we'll talk about who's in the hot tub. Would you want at a home care facility, a CPR to an 87-year-old they would not give to her? And then I'll let you know about this model website that teenagers have disappeared from, so don't post your stuff on there.
Okay.
And that's it.
That's it for the lineup. Okay, are all about nothing. Relationships. Alex, Michael, Meredith. Tell me, are there things that you wish the girlfriend or guy wouldn't do?
Yeah.
I got something.
Alex.
I don't like when girls happen to be really, really clingy. It's very unattractive. Very unattractive. And I don't like when girls say the L word like a week or two into the relationship. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me at all.
So it kind of like makes you want to step back?
Yeah, it throws me off a little bit, yes.
Okay. Michael, anything come up into your mind?
No, I just think that girls, they are clean a lot. They always, when I had my girlfriend when I was like younger, this girl would just always just be annoying to me. She would whine at me at class.
Yeah, but you were young. How old were you?
7.
You were 7 years old.
She was 7 too. Okay, but you know what? You guys are saying the girls are clingy. I want to hear from Meredith. What, from a girl's point of view
I
with
don't
dating.
like when guys are like too overprotective. Like that means there's no trust in the relationship. And I don't like when they're verbally abusive because it is bad.
Okay.
It gets worse.
Okay. All right. And before we continue, Alex, we have a guest with us today, and I know that you wanted to introduce him.
This is Kit Lucas. I interviewed him earlier today on my show, Media Mashup. He's a writer / director / producer / all-around great guy. He likes long walks on the beach, and
so do I.
He's Kit Lucas.
Okay.
I'm glad to be here.
Glad to have you.
I've been told I have to stay all day and deep into the night because Richard just wants me to be here. So.
And where did you come from? What brought you to Rockland County?
I live in Spark Hill.
Okay.
So and Richard has been editing shows for me for years.
Okay.
So
I saw some of the titles. Of course, I went on Wikipedia. That very knowledgeable website.
Yeah, I wrote that piece and gave it to a friend of mine because I'm not allowed to post myself.
Okay.
So it was posted by a friend of mine, and immediately one of the editors came out and said, "This needs proof. I don't know about this guy." So
And you wrote it yourself?
Yeah. So no, but that's not allowed, you see, and I couldn't tell him I did that. So he went and did some research and came back and changed it, quoting a piece that was on Channel 13's website about me. What he didn't know was I wrote that piece too.
Okay. So did you, I saw your start was a tough one,
Yeah.
with a lot of loss. Did that shape the material that because I saw that you chose to write about?
Well, certainly, when I became a writer, it didn't shape the original material when I became a television producer. I was at Channel 13 for 9 years, in what we like to call the good old days. And I was assigned pieces to produce, and so my own personal life never got into that. But when I started writing, the first book I wrote was about film directing, because I was teaching that at the time. But when I started writing what I really want to write about, then I started to write about my life, my early life. And I continue to do that. The film that'll be on at the Thalia Theater in New York at Broadway and 95th next week, 2:30 p.m. Is that a good commercial? Did I do that well?
Yeah, it was
thank you.
almost better than the last one you did.
So what is it called?
It's called The Antibody, and it's about cancer and suicide and survival. And 2 little plays are going to be there too, 2 very nice plays that I didn't write, someone else wrote, but I'm in one of them. Okay. So I continue to do that. I keep saying to myself, I'm not going to do this anymore, I'm going to write about other things.
Is that what your dad had cancer?
No. I had cancer.
Is that why there was something on prostate cancer?
Yes, I had prostate cancer. I had lymphoma. I wrote a book about prostate cancer. I think that sold 3 copies. But my other book sold better than that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people are getting that now. Maybe it's got to be revived.
Yeah, the problem is I don't have an MD after my name, and people want to buy books that have MDs.
Okay. So now, you guys, here we have a writer with us, a producer, an actor. What kind of questions? You're on a talk show. Something brought you here. What kind of questions can you ask?
Well, I love acting and art. Have you always known that you wanted to be a writer?
No. I knew I wanted to be an actor. My father was a very good writer. He was a lawyer. And my brother was a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist, so I stayed away from writing. And my wife wrote 3 novels and then a big book on social work, which is still selling. So I wasn't going to be a writer. I wanted to be an actor from the earliest days. And I acted through high school and college. I took my normal course of mathematics and economics and psychology and all, but I wanted to be an actor. And I decided that I would apply to graduate school in acting and in psychology, which was my major, just to hedge my bets. Well, I didn't get a teaching assistantship in acting, so I went into psychology. And I came back to acting 8 years ago, when I was in my 60s. And I've been doing some professional and some amateur acting. The writing came about because I had a summer off at City College. And I thought, I can't waste the summer. And we bought our first computer, and my wife, who was doing some writing, said, teach me how to use it. I said, well, I'll have to use it first. So in 2 months, I wrote a book on directing. And she never got her hands on the computer.
No.
Are you happy to be acting again?
Yes. Years ago, I saw a man who played a sheriff in some Broadway play, and it said he'd been an accountant or something, but he'd come back to acting in his 60s, and I said, that's what I'm going to do. And the opportunity arose. Yeah.
Michael, do you have anything? Are there
Why not? Wake up over there.
Yeah, wake up.
Never mind. It's okay.
It's okay. Anything that is playing around in your mind that you might want to write about in the near future?
I am writing 2 plays at the moment, and I'm writing a novel. My novels have never sold. I've had 5 or 6 other books that have sold. My novels haven't sold because they weren't very imaginative. So they really weren't. They weren't. They were very pedestrian and not very exciting, and some autobiographical stuff crept in there, which everyone says you have to do. This is brand new, but I can't talk about it with teens around.
Oh, okay.
I told Alex about it on the air. He's a teen.
I was just about to ask if you could explain to us what it's about, but you just answered
No,
my
I
question.
think I think
Yeah, no,
it would
just
be
answer my question.
inappropriate.
Okay.
It's sexual and it's illegal, and I'd rather you
Yes. No.
not.
It's better. It's better that way.
Thank you.
Any tips for teens who might want to start writing? You know,
Oh.
how do they get? Because it's like I think it's like almost like, what's the word? You know, like such a daunting task to be able to, like, oh, I have an idea, but then.
Oh, I think it's the other way around. I think kids are asked to write an essay in a such and such a class, or to write about this or write about that. It's not their idea. It comes from the teacher.
Okay.
And I remember, how do I start? I don't have an idea about the Civil War. What am I going to do? So, but the fact is, if you have an idea of your own, the easiest thing now, because of computers, is to let your fingers do the writing. If you just sit down, there's something called automatic writing. This is back in the early part of the 20th century. They thought, it really is possible to put your fingers on, and your mind will do the writing. Write, because it's a computer and you can erase and do anything you want. Just start. It doesn't matter whether you start the beginning, the middle, or the end. Just start writing and let it flow. And that's what I'm doing with this novel the first time that I've done that.
Do you meditate first?
No. You don't. I mean, you can meditate. You can talk to people about it. You can talk to yourself at night when you're falling asleep. Oh, what a good idea! But then you want to get up and write in the middle of the night, so that's not so good. But just don't be afraid of making a mistake. There are no mistakes until you try and get it published or whatever. So just write out of
the love of
it, the energy, and all. And by the way, writing is perhaps the most important thing you can learn for any profession that you'll want to have. So don't say, well, I don't want to be a writer, so I'm not going to write.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. What, can we do one more segment before we go to break? Okay. I think I like the All About Something that Meredith sent in. We were talking about relationships, and here's a relationship where a young lady broke up with her boyfriend after being pushed from a cliff.
And she wasn't even pushed
It's the
straight.
funniest
She was
thing.
dangling for like at least a good 5 minutes before they could get her.
So now, from what I understand, the boyfriend thought because she's shy and she was scared that he should take it into his own hands.
Yeah, because she kept contemplating, like, should I jump, should I not jump? And they have, like, pictures from each, like, step. And finally he's like, oh, okay, I'm just going to push her because I don't want to do this anymore and wait. So
what are your thoughts? You sent this in. Why did this appeal to you?
because I couldn't believe that he would do that. And in the news, they were calling him, like, the worst boyfriend in the world. Like, I thought that was exaggerating a little bit.
Michael, Alex, anything to comment?
I thought it was hilarious. I saw it 2 days ago on YouTube, and I was dying laughing the whole time. And I don't think it was a little harsh, because it wasn't harsh at all, because if you were to be in like a pool or something, and your girlfriend or boyfriend didn't want to go in, or was contemplating whether they wanted to go in or not, you're obviously going to push them. So it'd just be the same situation.
Or that obvious?
Hold on. Let me talk. I'm not done.
Okay.
All right. Same thing with cliff jumping. Say like you're going to like a body of water and you're like 30 feet up, and you're contemplating again whether you're going to jump or not. I'm clearly going to push you. So there you go.
Remind me never to go with you on an outdoor adventure.
It's fun. I'm just telling you, it's fun. I mean, she had the ride of her life. I mean, I thought it was funny the way that she just broke up with him out of nowhere. She was like, "I'm breaking up with you," and the guy was hysterically laughing because he was just like, "Oh, well, I just got dumped," but it was the funniest way possible of getting dumped. So
now, suppose that she had had a heart attack because she had a defect in her heart that no one knew about, and the fright of getting pushed made her have a heart attack. Or suppose when she was pushed because she was off balance, she hit a rock, then you'd feel differently. But you wouldn't know ahead of time. Or you wouldn't feel differently. It's still funny?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, it happens.
Well, wait, is it funny, though?
I guess at that point it wouldn't be funny, but like, you wouldn't know until it happened, I guess.
That's right.
So, YOLO. I'm just kidding, not YOLO. Yeah, I don't know. I'm at a loss.
Meredith?
I don't know. I don't think it was right. I think maybe, like, I don't know. I don't even think it's funny either because he was laughing and she was, like, in pure terror. I don't know. I think he should have got dumped for that.
But it's like, she was strapped, so, and she was pretty much protected by what she was strapped to, so it's not like, I mean, accidents happen, obviously, but she was pretty safe for where she was, you know?
She was safe, but I still don't think it was right because she could have, like, emotional scarring
Yeah.
now and not just physical. I know she didn't get hurt, but
Right.
still.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. All right. What's next? Teens have heart. I think that's me. All right. I look forward to all the teens out there listening to this to come Thursday to the JCC. We have our teen leadership meeting. 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock is for middle schoolers. High school kids are from 8 to 9. We've spent 6 months now looking at the problems in our world, from the hungry and packing emergency food boxes for Meals on Wheels to trying to help kids with cancer go to camp. And now we just got word that there's a young man at Clarkstown South High School who is living with leukemia, just had a bone marrow transplant, and the family's medical expenses are so high that we're running a 3-on-3 basketball tournament. And I think, Michael, you play basketball?
Yeah.
So maybe you'll get, like, if you got 9 friends, that's 3 teams. We're going to raise money to help give his family some money, as well as send kids to camp who have cancer. What are some other projects that we're doing? Do you know? No? Nobody here? Alex, he did it last year. We have a dodgeball tournament to raise money for the IDF.
Yeah, I did the dodgeball tournament. It's fun.
Yeah, to
Fun
send
stuff.
some cheer their way. So anyway, so that is this Thursday, 7 o'clock, middle schoolers, and 8 o'clock for high schoolers. I also have Friday, our sister city in Israel, Hod HaSharon. We have 11 teens, they're seniors in high school, coming over to the United States before they graduate and go into the Army in Israel. So Friday night we're making dinner at the J. Saturday night we have the viewing of 20 Million Minutes. Alex, do you know what that is?
Yes, I do.
Okay, can you tell us?
I can. Basically, it's back in 1972, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was the Munich Olympics, and Israel had, I don't know how many, I forgot how many people competing, and there was this crazy tragedy where there was a shooting and they all died, and
what happened is terrorists surrounded the Israeli house, and they shot all of the Israeli athletes, even though that day they were, talking and playing and laughing, with other athletes from around the world. And, that night they were surrounded and they were brutally murdered because they were Israeli. And what happened after that, Alex?
So years after that, Anki Spitzer, one of the victims' wives, has been trying to
Get the Olympic Committee.
Yeah, get the Olympic Committee to make it like a moment of silence for them. So they tried doing this for the 2012 Olympics in London, and it's all in the movie. You'll have to see.
Okay, that sounds good. So anyway, so the American host kids as well as the Israelis, we're going to watch the movie. Anki Spitzer is flying here from Israel, and I'm sure she'll have some words before the movie starts. She is an amazing journalist. She has interviewed Arafat. She has interviewed most, leaders from the Middle East. And then afterwards, on Sunday, we have a free scavenger hunt in New York City. There will be prizes, and I have about 20 seats left because the bus is like 50 kids. So if anybody wants to come Sunday morning at 9 to the J, they can come on the scavenger hunt. Bring some money. People will go off on their own for lunch, and we'll be back at the JCC at 3:45. So I look forward to seeing everybody Thursday night and Saturday night and Sunday. It's gonna be a busy day, busy weekend for me. Okay, Alex, you want to take a break?
Yes, we're going to be playing "Never Be Daunted" by J-May. Now enjoy.
Thank you, Alex.
I think my mom's gonna come to this Saturday.
you so afraid of? Why are you feeling scared? What's the worst that's gonna happen? Standing in the moonlight, I could tell you feel doomed, though nothing is wrong, no nothing. You say maybe a crane will fall from the sky, maybe a dove will dive and die before your eyes. It's too early to say, it's too early to say goodnight, goodnight. It's too early to read, it's too early to read by the firelight. What are you so afraid of? Why are you feeling scared? What's the worst that's gonna happen? Standing in the meadow with sunlight in your eye and a sense of so much sorrow. You say maybe a plane will fall from the sky, maybe your lover will lie and die before your eyes. It's too early to say, it's too early to say goodnight, goodnight. It's too early to read, it's too early to read by the firelight. Ooh.
Insisting I stick around.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was good. It was fun. Enjoy yourself, guys.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Welcome back to Jake Talks. If you have a point to share, call us at 845-353-2910. That is 845-353-2910. We look forward to hearing from you. Thank you. And now,
We've all heard about nursing homes and independent living facilities, but have you ever heard of a nursing home or independent living facility not helping their patients?
No, I haven't.
no.
No.
Well, just like 2 weeks ago, or 1 week ago,
Okay.
an 87-year-old woman was eating lunch in the dining hall at her independent living facility, and she suddenly passed out. And normally you would think, oh, the nurses would do CPR, right?
Of course.
Yeah, but they didn't do CPR. They did call 911 at least,
Okay.
but they did not. They refused to do CPR on this woman. She was lying there dying, suffocating to death, and they still wouldn't do it. The dispatcher was pleading, like, please do CPR as a human being, just do it. But she still wouldn't do it.
But why? Why would she do it?
Because she didn't want to be liable, which I don't get either, because you're not liable under the
Good Samaritan?
Good Samaritan Act.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not liable if you help. But now the funny thing is, she is liable because she didn't help.
Oh, is that what's going to come
Yeah,
up? Okay.
they're
But the
They're gonna have like a
facility.
lawsuit or like what's?
They want to like try it as a homicide.
It's crazy.
The director of this facility said that their policy is to stay with the person who's not feeling well, call 911, and you don't leave their side. But they have a policy not to do CPR at this independent living.
That's crazy.
Is that-
Because
Right.
That doesn't make sense to me though, because like you have somebody who's clearly dying and needs the medical attention, yet you're not allowed to help them. How does that make any sense? My grandmother's 100. My great grandmother's 102 years old, and if she was couldn't breathe or
Guess
anything,
what?
I would.
You know what this tells me? This tells me that any person who has a parent or a grandparent or a great grandparent in a healthcare facility, they have to find out what their policy is.
Right.
You can't wait till it's too late for the policy.
Yeah.
Michael, any words on this?
Yeah, I just don't think it's fair that there's one woman was dying and no one was wanting to do CPR. They wanted any like 911 or hospital care to do
Right?
it.
Isn't that?
Like I would, if I was, I didn't even I would have done it if I was like a person that was
nearby.
Yeah, nearby, and I heard about it. I'll tell my parents that maybe my mom or dad could have helped on that woman.
Right, of course. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Like I took CPR. I got CPR certified, and yes, you're supposed to call 911, but you're supposed to do compressions while you're waiting for 911.
Right, to come.
Mhm.
She didn't do that either.
No. So
No.
I don't know what their policy is, but I do not want anybody's
I wouldn't want
grandparents
anybody
going there.
And it's called Glenwood Gardens.
I wonder how long it was away from like the nearest doctors or hospital.
Well, they called 911, so the 911 comes.
Yeah,
within
911
5
told them to do something, but
Right.
they didn't do it.
It said it was 7 minutes 16 second 911 call. So for 7 minutes they were pleading with this woman to give her CPR, and she wouldn't.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But we have another hot tubber.
Mhm.
Okay.
Do you guys trust everything you read online?
Yes, because everything online is true. I'm telling you, it's true. Everything is
not.
Well, we'll see about that.
Mhm. In Aurora, Colorado, 2 girls posted on this modeling website saying the website said, "Oh, you guys can be famous models if you post your pictures." And they both posted these pictures. They never met each other, but they're both missing now.
Wow.
So
Is it, wait, hold on. Isn't that the same town where
Yes.
Carrot Top, not Carrot Top, but the guy who looks like Carrot Top
Yeah, the
shot up the movie theater?
shooting.
Yes.
It's a crazy town.
Same town.
I know my stuff. I remember.
You know your facts.
That's scary. That's really scary.
It is scary.
Both situations. You can't really trust most things online, to be honest with you. You can't even trust like MySpace or Facebook because because the whole catfish situation, really, you know. But I mean, this is clearly different than that.
Yeah.
But
What's catfish?
Catfish is like, well, it was a movie. Now it's a TV show. I think we've talked about it on here before. It's where somebody puts themselves to be someone else, I guess, on Facebook or MySpace, and they talk for a while, then you go see them, but they're actually someone else. Yeah, so it's basically what it is. But this situation's, I guess,
But
clearly different.
Somebody could have responded to these young ladies saying, "You were picked. Now come meet me."
Right.
And then who knows what
Yeah.
happened once
Why
they
would
met
you?
her.
I would never put my picture on the internet, only on Facebook and Twitter. But
Well,
But these girls wanted to become models.
but you wouldn't. I would. If I was them, I would think something was wrong.
fishy?
Yeah, I'd think someone was fishy.
I would ask my parents what to do about this.
Or ask anyone of that, for that matter. Ask anyone what they do.
Well, do you think teens, especially on Facebook, should be more careful of the stuff they post? Like, do you think some
Of
of the
course.
stuff is too over the top or too
Post what you feel you're comfortable with. Don't post stuff that you know would make people want to track you in some way. It's not good.
Do you think it will like come to haunt them in the future?
Most likely.
Want to get jobs?
Like,
Yeah.
And what things shouldn't you post?
Yourself nude, for example.
Well, pictures, but like I'm thinking, if you're going away for a weekend, you should probably not post.
Oh, well, yeah.
You know, parents
outside.
away, party at my house. You know,
And post
or-
pictures of that night and whatever. And I've seen kids post pictures of themselves drinking beer, smoking a joint. I see it all the time. I'm just like, what are you thinking? It really doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me because you're basically digging yourself into a hole that at this point you really can't get out of unless you get rid of these pictures.
You know, when I've seen it, I haven't seen it in high school really, but the college pictures when my kids went through college,
Right.
had all of that.
Yeah.
My mom has access to my Facebook because we had a deal that my brother didn't follow it, but if I got it, if I got a Facebook, she needed my username and my email address and password I was using. I was like, okay, and
this way she could make sure.
And she doesn't look at mine because she knows I wouldn't post that, but she does look at my brother because he would post like a lot of those stuff and
Kind of pictures.
And yeah, my brother got just so mad at her because of that.
He got what? So mad?
No, my mom would get so mad at my brother for just doing like not letting her see what he does, and sometimes she asks me to check what he does on Facebook.
Yeah, but you shouldn't get in between the two of them.
I don't. I just
No,
say
you can't,
I'm
'cause
not.
you don't want your brother mad at you.
And one time she asked my 25-year-old, 26-year-old sister to check what time he left when he got off Facebook, and it was just a big fight about it.
So did she do it?
No.
She didn't do it either.
No.
We don't want to get into it.
All right, Mom, you got to ask your son yourself.
It's not really. I mean, it's kind of invasion of privacy, but at the same time, it's kind of not. I don't know. It's hard to explain, really. I don't know.
Well, Facebook originally wasn't something for high school kids,
No,
was
just
it?
college.
No. And my brother was one of the first, 100,000 or in the 100,000s to have it, and it was so much different than it was today. In the fact that privacy settings were different, and the way you could set up pictures and having friends, and the way just everything was just so much different than it is today, with ads and everything like that.
Like I can go into somebody who's I'm a friend with,
Right.
and they could have a post of a picture of somebody they're friends with, and I could see all those pictures if I wanted to.
Yeah.
They didn't give me permission. I'm not giving people permission to see my pictures except for my friends.
Yeah.
But yet that to me is so unacceptable that other
course.
people can get to see your pictures.
Well, there is on Facebook and every in one of those things. There is, when you create your account, it does ask you if only your friends want to see it.
Yeah, but that can only go so far, though.
But sometimes I think on Instagram, I think sometimes you can say, don't even let your friends see your pictures. You can just post pictures, but don't even let anyone see it.
So then what would the point being posting pictures if you don't want anyone to see it, I think that's weird, but all right.
Even 1 year when I got a yearbook at the end of the year, I saw one of my profile pictures in the yearbook. I didn't get permission for them to put it in there.
Oh, so how'd they get it?
You can copy and paste pictures off of Facebook.
That's what they did with our year too.
In what? That's what they did?
They did that with our year too.
Yeah, you can
just getting pictures off Facebook.
Yeah, but without permission?
I guess.
That's terrible.
Anybody, that's so scary though, because any person you friend and don't know, they could just copy and paste all your pictures.
On anything.
And one time this person friended me on Facebook and had pictures of me and my friend in their profile.
And you didn't
What?
Yeah. So
That's
you have to be
crazy.
really careful, people.
Very careful. Very careful. Okay. Well, thank you for opening my eyes on the dangers, really, of the internet and Facebook. Okay. I guess we're putting this to bed now.
So who wants to end it? I guess I'll end it, I guess.
Yeah, if you want.
All right. You can listen to our archives anytime, or send us your Teens in a Pickle letters to kathy@jccrockland.org. And I guess we'll be back next week, right?
Yeah.
All right. And that's a wrap.
Remind me again just what you were saying when you walked in the room, when the music was playing, when I was lost too, but in my own thoughts, and I could not find you. Tell me your story, I'm listening this time. I can get us some glasses and a bottle of wine. We can sit on the carpet, sit on the table, sit on the moon. You can reach for my hand, you can say what you like, or just what you can't stand. Be a boy or a little old man, be what you want, even nothing at all. Be with me. Why not forgive us? Quit holding your breath. You reach with your right hand like it's all that's left for the knob of the door. But I love your ankles, you fall on my floor. You roll your eyes, you're so sick of this. Jane lay the bracelet I placed on your wrist. You lost it, let's face it. I think we both lost it a little bit. I know you're living in London. miss me? Do you miss our talks? Do you miss our touching and our midnight walks? Do you miss the ocean? Do you miss the sand? Do you miss me at all? Miss you, man, and I have to laugh like crazy. I really think you're crazy. You might as well ask, is a hot day hazy? Is your left eye navy? Have I ever laid lazy with you on the grass? Let's get something straight, 'cause I really do hate the feeling that's growing, to think you're not knowing wherever I may run, even if it's dumb. I love only you, are the only one. So it really doesn't matter if I'm sorta having fun. If for a cool second I get a glimpse of the suns, where they're singing on stages or filling up the pages, something's undone. And the song ends here, 'cause you're really, really weird, and we haven't said a word in over a year. It just gives me hope, like music is a rope to hold you right here. And I'm sorry for these lines, and I'm sorry for my crimes, and I'm sorry for the oceans I sails all the times. If I ever gave you something, it probably was the notion I never gave you nothing but a very hard time.
It's not just radio, it's Rockland World Radio. RocklandWorldRadio.com.